In this video, I'm going to tell you guys the worst to best buildings to loot in Dead Rails. Hopefully, this video will help you guys out. If this video helps you out, or in case you guys just enjoy it, make sure to subscribe and notifications on, ring that bell, leave a like on the video, comment below what your favorite building to loot in this game is. Also, make sure to join my Discord, link is in the description below. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the farm coming in 12th place. Now, the farm, honestly, in my opinion, is not a very great building. Just because the farm, the only guaranteed item spawn is the horse. The horse is the only guaranteed item spawn out of a farm. Now, fortunately, I did get kind of lucky with this farm. I got gold bars and things like that. But do not expect that when going to farm. The only reason you would ever, and I mean ever, go to a farm is if you do not have a horse. For some reason you didn't find an outlaw and take his horse from them, then maybe you can go to the farm. It's just the only issue is that farm spawns extremely far away from the actual track. So you're going to waste a lot of time going to farm, and it's probably going to turn nighttime before you get to the next outpost. So just keep that in mind if you guys ever want to actually loot the farm. Guaranteed horse spawn. Not much else unless you're extremely lucky, and it spawns really far away. Now, coming to that place is just going to be a normal house. The normal house that spawn in towns or just randomly. I would recommend only looting these if you have extra time. If you know you're going to be going straight to the outpost after the town, and it's not nighttime yet, and you already looted everything else, go ahead and loot these houses. You're not going to lose anything from looting them. It's just the loot in them usually isn't that good. I'd recommend only going in if you see something like a gold bar or coal just sitting in the door, so you can just run in real quick, grab it, get out. Just because normal houses, in my opinion, are a big waste of time, and I do recommend skipping these unless, like I said, you have a lot of extra time. Now, coming to 10th place is actually going to be the fort. Now, the fort, in my opinion, is one of the worst buildings in the game. The only reason you would ever go to fort is, one, you want the cannon, which honestly isn't even that good, or two, you want the bod. Now, the way to access the fort is you have to clear the first wave of enemies, get the key, and open this building. Another thing that fort has is it has guns, bandages, and ammo. But quite frankly, if you already cleared out fort, you probably already have these items. Because fort, quite frankly, is one of the hardest buildings in the game. Just because after you're done clearing it, as you'll see in a second, you'll get extremely hard enemies. But the chance of getting headshot by multiple enemies, if they get extremely lucky, is really high. Which is why I recommend always skipping fort. The only reason I did fort in this run is because I had to show you guys what fort gave you, which is a cannon, ammo, and some bonds. I got extremely lucky with the amount of bonds I got in this fort, but normally you get like 3. It's not worth doing unless you want the cannon for some reason. Goofy, funny cannon, shoot cannonball, it explode. Very funny. But yeah, the second wave of enemies that spawn are pretty much outlaws that ride horses. So you're probably going to die unless you actually snipe these enemies before they even get to you. Just because they will have guns. They're basically outlaws on horses that will spawn a ton. It's basically the end of the game, but harder. And your reward for this is absolutely terrible. Always skip fort unless you're looking for a little bit of extra bonds. The coming to 9th place is going to be the furniture store. Now, the reason why this is in 9th place and not higher on the list is because the items you get in the furniture store, other than coal, you can get coal sometimes, which is quite nice, or barrels, which are nice as well. It's just generally not worth looting unless you really badly need fuel. If you need fuel really badly, I would hit up the store first because it is the best place to get fuel for your train. But in general, the furniture store pretty much is just a general store that only contains fuel items. So in my opinion, it is actually worse than a general store. But if you do need fuel, like I said before, you can always loot the furniture store. It will have fuel in it. There's that. Now, coming in 8th place is actually going to be the general store. Now, the general store, like I said, for the furniture store, is pretty much just the furniture store, but it can actually spawn items like ammo. It can spawn gold bars. It pretty much has a chance to spawn anything other than the extremely, special items, like the crucifixes in church and stuff like that. It can spawn pretty much anything. So I do recommend hitting up general stores if you have some extra time in towns before you do anything else, just because it can have items that can help you out on your run immensely. And quite frankly, I do think the general store is kind of cool. It's kind of like a loot box every time you go into. If you like gambling, general store, you just want to hit it up every time because it is just a loot box of items. You do not know what you're going to get when you walk into it. It's honestly a little fun, in my opinion, to hit up a general store from time to time. But yeah, general store, very basic building, but it is obviously better than all the ones below it. The company set place is probably going to be the most underrated building in the game, the coal mining building. Now, the coal mining building will spawn from time to time on your runs, and I recommend always stopping for this building if you do not have, like, a ton of coal in your train, because it is extremely easy to clear. There's only, like, 2 zombies that spawn in it. Not only that, but it always has 3 or more coal in it, and it has other items you could burn. Not only that, but you can also get a lantern from time to time, which is kind of nice just to have, so you can put it in your cabin, so vampires can't kill you, because you don't want a vampire shoving their knife up you know where. You don't want that happening to you. Coal mining building, extremely good. I'd recommend just hitting it up every now and then, especially if you need fuel. If you need fuel, I'd recommend going to it every single time. Extremely underrated building, extremely good, and I do like this building a lot. Now, coming to 6th place is going to be both the Outlaw Camp and the Doctor. Now, starting off with the Outlaw Camp, if it spawns near the start of the game, will not have any outlaws in it usually. So it's just free items. You can get armor, you can get gold bars, you can get gold items, you can get a lot of guns, you can get ammo, you can get turrets. In general, it's just a really, really good building to just go. But I do recommend only stopping for these if you already have a gun on you. Because if you don't have a gun, you'll probably die going into these. So always stop if you have a gun, because it just has so much good stuff that are worth so much money that you don't have to buy later in the run. It can have easy free access to guns. So like, imagine you only have a pistol, a rifle can spawn there, and you have a rifle for the rest of the run. Extremely good building in my opinion. I'd recommend, like I said, always stopping if you have a gun. Now, the other one in 6th place was the Doctor. Now, the Doctor, from time to time, will have snake oils in it, which is obviously, like, one of the best items in the game. Why would you not want snake oils? Free snake oils is always nice. Plus, you could sell them if you don't need them. They're worth a bit of money. Now, the reason why Doctor is so high is because this singular building can save your entire run. It will literally save your run. It always has bandages or snake oil in it that can use to heal yourself. It's an extremely important building to go to, especially if you're playing vampire, because those bandages you can use to heal yourself when you're out in the sunlight. And in general, I do think Doctor is just a really good building. You should probably go to it every time if you don't have healing items, because it will always have healing items in it. I honestly really like hitting up the Doctor every time I'm in a town. It's usually the first building I go to, just because, you know, in case you get damage from the town, you can always heal yourself. Especially if it's the first town, go to the Doctor immediately so you're able to heal yourself so you don't instantly lose from the gigantic horde of zombies. Now, coming to 5th place is going to be both the Sheriff and the Gunsmith. The reason why they're bunched up together here is because you're honestly going to be looting them for the same exact reason, which is to find guns and find ammo. There is a very low chance of guns spawning, which is always nice. You can get a gun from these. And there will be ammo that you don't have to buy and waste money on. So you can spend your money on armor. You can spend it on sheet metal. You can spend it on coal. You can just spend it on a lot of other things instead of ammo. So it's really nice just to grab ammo out of these. I would recommend always hitting these up in a town before you leave. Just because free ammo, chance of guns is always really high, which is very nice. It can carry you through your run just getting a single rifle for one of these. So always hit these up if you're either not fully stocked on ammo, or if you don't have guns yet, or even if you have a gun and just want a better one. Always hit these guys up. Extremely good buildings. And yeah, 5th place. Now, coming to 4th place is going to be the castle. Unfortunately, I did loot the building before I actually recorded this, so you guys can just watch me picking up bodies and stuff like that. Now, the main reason why Castle isn't 1st place on this tier list is because Castle can be hard to clear. If you're not in a group of 4 people, or if you don't know any of the cheese strategies, if you don't know any of those, you can go watch my other videos. I explain it in there. But after you do actually clear the castle, which is one of the harder buildings in the game to clear, you get like a bunch of bonds. You get a ton of treasure. You get a ton of fuel with barrels in their bodies. You can even sell the bodies if you want to get even more money. And what above all, you get the vampire knife, which sells for an absolute ton of money. So pretty much Castle, in my opinion, after you clear Castle, you pretty much won the game at that point. Castle is literally just an instant win in my opinion. It isn't the best in the game because it is not completely free. It is somewhat difficult to clear, but if you manage to clear it, you're pretty much set for the entire rest of the run. Plus, it has a few guns in it, but quite frankly, those are worthless because if you cleared Castle, you probably have the guns you already want. There's also a bit of ammo, so you get back some of the ammo you spend on actually clearing Castle. Now, coming to 3rd place is going to be the end of game houses. Now, I recommend turning the wheel before you even start looting these, just because if you don't do this, it can turn nighttime while you're clearing the end of the game, which always isn't a fun thing to do. Having werewolves spawn where you have a ton of bandits coming at you, a ton of zombies coming at you, is never a fun thing, or even lightning. Lightning can spawn, so I would recommend always turning the wheel before you loot these. But the reason why these are 3rd should be fairly obvious. They have bonds in them, which is obviously very, very nice. And not only that, but they always have an absolute ton of ammo. They even have a chance of having guns. So if you have low ammo by the end of the game, you can even pick up the guns just to have a few extra ammo. And sometimes there's even guns like shotguns that you didn't have before. It's just generally like it's a really good, really good building. There's always turret ammo, there's always ammo, there's sometimes guns, and there's always bonds. Easily one of the best buildings in the game. It's just that they're kind of hard to get to. So that's why I put it in third instead of putting it up higher, because it's not free. You have to get to the end of the game to loot these, but if you do manage to get to the end of the game, they're definitely worth looting just because they have good stuff in it. Like, why wouldn't you loot them? Like I said, they're free if you already won the game. Now, coming to second place is going to be both the bank and the church. Now, the reason why these are grouped together is because whenever you hit up a town and you do banks, you're going to grab the stuff in church. Holy water sell for 30, the crucifixes sell for 50 each, a ton of money in just the church, which is why church is grouped up here with bank. Church is just like insanely good to loot while you're doing bank. Now, you guys probably know this by now, but bank has a chance of having insane amount of bonds in it, because bonds can both spawn in the front of the building and inside of the vault. Now, the chance varies for the amount of bonds you get, but you can always be assured that there will be a ton of treasure inside of these. So after first town, if you get like 2 banks in it, you're pretty much set for the rest of the run, because the amount of money you get for both church and the banks is insane. And obviously, getting more bonds is always nice. Like, you want to get bonds even if you have all the classes. So if more classes drop, you could buy them immediately. You don't have to grind for them. So I think it should be fairly obvious why this is second on the tier list. Easy bonds, easy money, just overall a really good thing. These are the reason why people stop in town, by the way, is for the bonds from bank and the easy money from church and bank at the same time. Now, coming to first place as the best building to loot in the entire game is going to be Tesla. You guys probably already knew this was coming in first place. I mean, you guys were probably already wondering, why hasn't Tesla been here yet? By the way, before you comment, yes, those people were annoying me. Ignore all the bodies. And also, go ahead and comment that I'm not picking up the silver bars. I didn't want them, but go ahead and comment, he didn't pick the bars. Go ahead and do it. I'm waiting for, I'll read all of them, I promise. But yeah, Tesla is literally just free money. You don't have to fight any enemies to do Tesla. It's literally just free money. There's always gold bar that spawns in. There's always silver bars. There's always the brain in a jar. And if you're even luckier, you can get even more than that. And of course, it has the guaranteed lightning rod spawn, which prevents you from instantly getting one shot by lightning and losing the game immediately. And if you don't want to sell these for some reason, I also should mention Tesla is what makes Pacifist runs so easy. Because you don't have to fight anything, you can just sell everything in Tesla, and Pacifist run is one after that. But yeah, even if you don't want to sell anything in it, Tesla has the single strongest gun in the entire game, the Electrocutioner. If you're willing to fight the Tesla boss, of course. If you do this, you get a few bonds. It's not that much, but you do get a few bonds from clearing Tesla. So yeah, basically Tesla, #1 building in the entire game. Extremely good. And yeah, that's actually going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe. Hope to see you next one, guys. Make sure to join my Discord. Link is in the description below, and turn on that bell. Ring that bell. Comment below what your favorite building comment below what your favorite building is to loot in this game, and I hope to see you next one. Peace out.